All right, welcome in Cancer and Cancer placements. This is your beginning to mid-August 2026 reading, excuse me. So this reading is for the time period of August 1st through the 15th, 2026, and it is meant for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. All right. So we are going to get a couple oracles and then get into tarot and see what you need to know, what spirit has in store for you during this time period. As always with these collective readings, please take what resonates for you, leave what doesn't for someone else. And if you feel that it's resonating with you with the roles reversed, you are more than welcome to do so. If you're feeling it's not resonating at all, please check another placement. All right, let's get into it here for you. Archangel Michael, Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, what do you have in store for Cancer and Cancer placements from August 1st through the 15th, please? Wow, okay. This card flew across the room. We've got options: doing them, juggling connections, addictions, and player. Okay. A lot of energy behind that card there. You know, it honestly flew right out of the deck and across my table and onto the floor. So, like I said, a lot of energy was behind that card coming out. Okay. You might be dealing with an earth sign here. So a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn might be significant. I will put it back here just in case. And then what else do we have here? Okay, we have new boo. Happy place, seeing someone new, new love blossoms, enjoying each other. Okay. All right. Holy Spirit, Holy Angels, Archangel Michael, what do you have as far as overall energy for Cancer and Cancer placements from August 1st through the 15th, please? What do we need to know? What might be going on with them here? Okay, we've got the Star. We have the Queen of Swords. The King of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else for Cancer and Cancer placements? Okay, we also have the Knight of Swords. All right, with the Page of Wands being on the bottom of the deck here. Okay. All right, I am looking at, I was guided. I'm not always guided to look beyond this card here, but I was guided this time. So after the Page of Wands, we do have the Nine of Swords and Death. Okay. So I am taking those three cards here for under the deck. All right. So with the Star being here, I do feel that, maybe you're going through the healing process right now. Okay. I feel like, maybe there was a connection in your life or things in your life that have hurt you. Okay. Maybe you've gone through a difficult period and that, you're going through the healing process right now. I also feel with the Star being here that you are doing your best to try to stay hopeful and inspired for the future. As we know, especially when you are healing from difficulties or heartbreak, it can be pretty challenging to keep an open mind and to keep your heart open to new possibilities. So I'm sure this Star card is probably not the easiest energy to embody right now, but you're doing the best that you can, is what I'm hearing. Okay. Now, with the Queen of Swords being here, I feel like this is your energy right now. Okay. I feel like you are, embodying this Swords energy where, maybe during this healing process, you are not completely closing off your heart chakra, but you're not really making any moves or making any decisions that are based on your heart space and your emotions. Okay. So you might be more in your logical and rational mind right now, making decisions that you feel are best for you as far as, what is logical, what is rational. Okay. And you're not, like I said, allowing emotions and feelings to dictate what you decide to do, at least at the moment. Okay. If your feelings or emotions are involved, I feel like it's much less than what maybe you've used or experienced in the past. Okay. So, if your feelings and emotions are still involved with, decision making and actions that you take, things like that, then maybe it's, instead of it being like a 50-50 type split between your head and your heart, it's more like, 75-25, or 80-20, something like that. Okay. I also feel with the Queen of Swords that, maybe this is an energy that you're not completely comfortable with. And it is sometimes a very challenging energy to embody, just because, it encourages you to basically not shut off your emotions, but turn them down significantly. And it also puts you in that space where you are able to detach when necessary. And it also allows you to cut out what no longer serves you. Okay. Because you're able to kind of distinguish between, what needs to be done as far as your headspace is concerned, your rational mind, and then not really, like I said, making decisions based on your heart. Okay. So we do have the King of Pentacles here. All right. So I do feel with the King of Pentacles that, maybe you are, and male or female, I don't know if I mentioned it before, male or female doesn't matter here. Okay. We all embody masculine and feminine energies in all of us. So it's possible, even if you are in that Queen of Swords energy right now, that you're also embodying the King of Pentacles, because I feel that maybe you are, embodying that energy where you're being your own provider. You're not, letting other people, or you're not focusing on having someone else provide stability and security for you. You are providing that for yourself. Okay. And maybe that's part of this healing process for you as well. Okay. Maybe you've been this provider for yourself for a while, and maybe it's just something, that's just coming up in the energy here. But for some of you, I feel like maybe, you've had someone else, as far as um, someone assisting you with maybe financial obligations, or, and paying bills, or, maybe you've been in a spot where maybe, someone else has been helping, like I said, pay for, certain things, and help provide, a place to live and things like that. Okay. So like I said, wherever you are in this, I feel like, you know, the majority of you are embodying this King of Pentacles energy here. And you're doing whatever's necessary to make sure that you have that stability and security for yourself, and even possibly for any dependents that you have. Now, I also feel, though, with the King of Pentacles being here, that there is someone new that's coming into your life. Okay. And this person I am feeling is embodying this King of Pentacles. Okay. Male or female doesn't matter. But I do feel that, that new boo card is actually accurate. And I feel that you do have someone new that will be entering your life here. And this person is someone who is a family person. This person is someone maybe high up in their career or in their job. I feel like maybe this person values having a stable income. Okay, so they are very much working toward creating financial freedom and financial abundance so that they can provide stability and security for not just themselves, but you and other dependents as well. Okay, because being a provider is very important to this person. So it is a stable energy. All right. So, like I said, I am feeling twofold with this, that the majority of you out there are trying to embody this energy for yourself. Maybe you have for quite a while. For some of you, it's something new. But I do feel as well that you do have someone new entering your life here. Okay. It might happen during this period in the beginning of August. Okay. Now, I do feel that you will be getting communication potentially from this new person. All right. It might be something where you meet this person and then you start communicating, and it's kind of like texting back and forth, or, DMs or whatever it is, maybe even talking on the phone. But I also feel for some of you that maybe this person will reach out without, you meeting them face to face first. So maybe for some of you, you've met them online, but you are going to be getting communication here. Now, I also am getting a separate energy. Sometimes I do get the feeling that, certain energies are where it's possible that it's one person, but I do feel like this is another energy. And I feel like this maybe is the person that you potentially had been dealing with in the past. Okay. And whether this person's an air sign or it's just the energy that they're embodying, this person is possibly sensing. Now, maybe they know because they either see postings online or they hear it from mutual friends or acquaintances. There is some way that this person is knowing, and it could be even in their dream state, that they're getting some kind of clue or nudge that you are moving on with someone new. So I feel like whoever this person is, it might be something where it lights a fire under them to come your way. Okay, because I feel like there's something that this person wants to talk to you about, and maybe they've been waiting, and they haven't been coming your way to do this. And I feel like because they know that, you might be moving on, that they might be coming back and moving toward you in this impulsive and even potentially reckless manner. So the communication that they bring, it might be impulsive where, they're not really thinking about what they say before they say it. So just be aware of that. But it's something that, they feel like they need to come in quickly because they might miss out. Okay. Now on the bottom of the deck, I am feeling here with the Page of Wands that, again, you will be getting communication from this person. Okay. And I feel like the Page of Wands here is communication from this Knight of Swords. So I feel like you're getting communication from two separate people. And so this Page of Wands here, maybe this person is younger than you. Maybe they're just immature as far as their mannerisms and their behavior. Okay. For some of you, maybe you even have a child with this person. You might resonate with this person's communication style being, lighthearted and even maybe on the flirtatious side, or that might just be the way this person presents themselves because they're trying to not have things be so serious. Okay. But that could also be due to anxiety. It could be a mask. Okay. But there is some kind of communication that's coming here from this person. This person is stressed out and anxious about this. I also feel like this person has been anxious and, losing sleep potentially because of the dynamic between the two of you and what had transpired. Okay. So like I was saying, I feel like there was an ending between you and this person, whoever this is, this Knight of Swords. And I feel like, this person has been so anxious about this happening that they want to come in and transform things between the two of you. Okay. So I do get the energy of two separate people here that are involved. All right, so it looks like so far we've got air energy, we've got earth, we've got fire, and I don't see water just yet. So everything but water so far. We also, well, we have Scorpio with death, so that is technically water, but we also have Aquarius energy as well with the star. Okay. So I know we had the earth signs card that came out, so that to me, is significant for this King of Pentacles. So maybe, spirit did pull out that earth sign card. So maybe, like I was saying, this King of Pentacles, this person coming toward you, this is significant. And I just got chills. If this person in air energy were significant, then, I feel like the air signs card would have come out. This person is significant in some way to you. Okay. Whoever this earth sign is. And they don't have to be an earth sun sign. It could be, earth just in their chart somewhere, especially in the, the major aspects, the major areas, placements. Okay. All right. So spirit, what are the potential difficulties? What are the potential challenges for Cancer and Cancer placements from August 1st through the 15th, please? What might they be facing as far as difficulties, challenges, things like that? Let's see here. All right, so we've got Judgment. Okay, we've got the Fool, the Five of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Lovers. Okay, and we've got the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. And I just got chills again. Wow, I haven't had chills with any of my zodiac readings as of yet today, and I've gotten chills significantly in multiple areas here so far. So there's something significant about this reading, and there's something significant going on here in this time period, I feel, for Cancer and Cancer placements. So, all right. With Judgment being here, as we know, Judgment is about, learning lessons. It's about having a certain level of awareness, okay, enlightenment, making a certain judgment call for yourself. And I feel like, whether you have already done this, where you've made a judgment call, because we had death there. So I do feel that whoever this Knight of Swords is for you, that you've already made the decision to end things with this person. For some of you, depending on where you are in this timeline, maybe you're still considering that. Okay. And it's just impending. But I feel like, if this Knight of Swords, whoever this person is, if they're returning, I feel like, them asking for a second chance and asking for your forgiveness and reconciliation with you, that might put you in a difficult position. I feel like of course you have feelings for this person. And so I feel like, you've been going through the healing process here with the star, and you have come to, like I said, a certain level of awareness that maybe the connection you had with this person was more so for lessons, or a lesson, as far as for your soul's growth and transformation. Okay. And you've kind of accepted the fact that maybe this was a lesson for you, and that maybe you need to just kind of move on here. So for this person to return and either try to get back into your life or make amends with you somehow, I feel like this might be a challenge for you. Okay. Now, with the Fool also being here in the challenge area, I feel like, the idea of moving forward with someone new, because maybe for some of you out there, it hasn't been that long since you've ended things with this other person. Or maybe for some of you, where things haven't completely closed out yet with this past person, maybe there's like an overlap where this new person comes in before things have completely closed out with this past person. So the fact and the idea of moving forward with someone new, with a new start here, it might really feel like a risk for you. You're still going through the healing process. You're still in that energy where you're in the Queen of Swords, where, your heart isn't completely open right now. And it could, it's most likely because of it's self-protection. And so the idea of opening your heart to someone new and, moving on, it can be daunting and might feel like, you're not ready right now. Okay. So part of you might feel that financially you're in a sticky spot. Maybe you're having difficulties, financially possibly. And so, like I was saying earlier with the King of Pentacles, even number one, being your energy, where either you've already been embodying this or it's something that you feel like you've had to embody recently, becoming your own provider. So maybe finances have become something like a burden for you. Okay. That aside, because that might not resonate with all of you, I do feel that, at least for some of you out there, that maybe you feel that you're just not in the right place right now for a new connection. That maybe you're feeling that, this last situation that you were in with whoever this Knight of Swords was, whoever that was for you, that, maybe there is something where your confidence or your inner strength had kind of taken a hit because, maybe this person made you feel like an option. Maybe this person was dealing with addiction, but I do feel like it is possible that maybe this person juggled you. And even if they didn't juggle you with another person, they could have juggled you with another thing like work or something else. So when that happens, it kind of emotionally plays games, and plays with your mind. And even the most secure person, someone who is normally very confident and things like that, it's very easy where somebody could fall into this state of feeling like they're not good enough. So maybe your confidence took a hit, okay, because of this past connection, and you're trying to build yourself back up here. If that's not the case, then maybe it's something where you just feel that you're just not ready to move on and move on with somebody else. You're just not feeling you're in the best place right now. Okay. And I feel like the reasons are because your heart has been broken here. Okay. Your heart has been broken by whoever this Knight of Swords is. And so I feel like you're still going through heartbreak. You're still healing from this heartbreak, and you're not feeling 100% like yourself. You're still trying to give yourself that self-love and self-care and move on the best that you can. But I mean, it takes some time, so getting past this sense of heartbreak to, number one, move on with someone new would be challenging, but also to have this person return and, try to be back in your life. I mean, after they've broken your heart, that is again something that might be very, very difficult to even imagine. Okay. So with the Lovers being here, the Lovers is ultimately about a choice. So I feel like either this person from your past, the Knight of Swords person, made a choice where either they chose themselves or someone else or something else over you, or or because it's possible that you might have also made a choice, because I feel like you potentially made a choice to choose yourself over this person. Okay. Now, like I said, wherever you are on this timeline, I don't know if that's already happened yet, but I also feel that for those of you where it's potentially where these two energies overlap, the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, where, maybe the situation with the Knight of Swords hasn't completely closed out yet, and then that King of Pentacles comes in, maybe you will have a decision to make between the two of them. Okay. The Lovers doesn't always have to be a choice that relates to love. A lot of times it does, but it usually does talk about a choice that is heart-centered, something that is true to the person who is making the decision, true to their heart and what's best for them as far as their heart is concerned. Okay, so maybe the fact of making this decision, maybe the fact of dealing with this decision, whether it was your decision or theirs or both, these are also things that might be very challenging to get past or accept. Okay. Now, with the Seven of Wands being at the bottom of the deck here, I feel like there were significant obstacles in the way of the connection between you and this past person. Okay. Whether it was a third party or, like I said, maybe a situation, could be a work, it could be anything. So that might be difficult to get past. I feel like there could be obstacles that you feel that are there and present if a new person comes in as well, because maybe, you haven't gotten very far as healing so far. Maybe, you are still feeling this sense of heartbreak. With the Five of Pentacles, like I said, you're not feeling like, you're completely yourself right now. And I feel like, these are all reasons that, you feel that maybe this would be an obstacle to start something new with someone, someone brand new. Okay. And then additionally, with the Seven of Wands, I feel that, fighting for a connection where you felt very defensive, maybe, where the person made you feel defensive, where you had to kind of stand your ground, fighting for a connection like that. I mean, I feel like maybe in the back of your mind, you're wondering, is it worth that? Is it worth it? Is it worth the energy and the investment? You know? So those are all posing challenges for you as well. Okay. Yeah. And after that is the Seven of Cups. I feel like, again, whoever this Knight of Swords is or was for you, I feel like this person did make you feel like an option. And they most likely confused you. They could have disillusioned you. They could have future faked you, told you whatever you wanted to hear, where the words and their actions didn't match, you know? Um, so that is a very big possibility here. It could also be that with the Seven of Cups here is that, you might be evaluating your options and trying to keep your options open and figure out what's best for you. Okay. And, maybe doing that is difficult. All right. But it's probably difficult to get past the fact that, if this Knight of Swords did make you feel like an option, it's like, well, if you did that before, how do I know you're not going to do that again? So, all right. All right. So let's see here. I feel like we've got all signs that are out here. We also have Libra. We have Aquarius and Aries. We have Gemini. Okay. All right, Spirit. So what is the guidance and what kind of advice do you have for Cancer and Cancer placements from August 1st through the 15th, please? What is the advice here? Okay, we have the Two of Wands. We have Temperance. We have the Empress. We have the Tower. And the Six of Swords. Okay. At the bottom is the Six of Cups. Okay. All right. So Spirit is saying that, you know, if you haven't already felt that you are at a crossroads, you are probably going to be feeling that at some point here. Okay. So there might be a crossroads moment that presents itself. Like I was saying earlier, I feel like it could come in separate times where maybe this past person comes in looking to reconcile, but also, you know, a new person shows up as well. Okay. So they could come separately. They could also be overlapping. Okay. So you might, you know, start a new relationship or connection with this new person, and then this past person shows up. Okay. But it also could happen where, you know, the past person shows up and then you close that out and then this new person comes in. All right. It's going to be different for all of you. And, you know, not all of you are going to close it out with this past person. All right. So it really just depends on what your free will decides to do here. Okay. But you have a crossroads here, two paths to choose from. Technically, I feel like you actually have three paths potentially to choose from. Okay. You have a path to return to the past with maybe reopening a cycle with this past person. You also have a path potentially with this new person. And then you even have a path of going, solo for a while. So I feel like you actually have three different paths to choose from. But it's still a crossroads moment trying to figure out which way to go. Okay, so Spirit says take your time here. Okay, for some of you, you know, maybe stargazing might help ground you. Maybe that's something where, you know, even getting out in nature will help bring some clarity. Okay, maybe sitting under a tree. Maybe some of you like to sit under a tree or take a bicycle ride here because that's what's in, you know, on this card as well. Okay. Now, with Temperance being here, I feel like Spirit really wants you to try to focus on whatever path will bring you the most peace, the most harmony, and, you know, a calm atmosphere for yourself. Because I feel like whatever you've been dealing with has kind of, you know, taken whatever peace you had in your life and kind of like thrown it up into the sky. It's almost like, you know, there's possibly been some upheaval and chaos, conflict that you've been dealing with here. And I feel like that's, you know, all things that you've been healing from. And so Spirit really wants you to focus on whatever path you choose. Make sure that it's a path that ensures that you, or as much as possible, that you feel intuitively will ensure, because that, you know, of course, we never, of course, know 100% if our path is going to ensure all of these qualities. But whatever you feel will give you the most peace and the most calm and the most harmony in your life to try to choose that path. Okay. Not only that, with the Empress coming out, I feel like, you know, male or female, again, doesn't matter, that Spirit wants you to remind yourself that you are the prize here. Okay. Don't let anyone make you feel like you are less than. Don't let anybody make you feel that they are the prize. Now, granted, yes, two high vibrational people, you can both be the prize for each other. But I'm not getting that energy here. I feel like this past person is someone who is lower vibrational than you are. And so maybe this person is used to feeling like they're the prize. Well, in this situation, you are. Okay? And Spirit wants you to remember that. And not only that, you know, a lot of times when the Emperor or Empress come out, you know, we say Emperor, Empress, whatever, you know, you resonate with. But in this situation, I am feeling like it's the Empress because, you know, we all have masculine and feminine in all of us. So this feminine energy is the receiving energy. It's the receptive energy. It's the energy of not taking action. It's allowing other people to take action toward you. So whether you're a male or female, it doesn't matter. Spirit wants you to sit back, tend to yourself, okay? Keep going through the healing process. Remind yourself that you're not lacking, that you are whole and complete all on your own, that you are the prize, and allow these energies to come to you. Okay? You should be in receiving mode right now. Okay? And I feel that number one, you've been through a lot with, this situation with this past person, and possibly you've been through a lot in your life just in general. But I feel like there's sudden change coming toward you. And I feel like this actually could be this new energy. It could also be whatever decision you make. With this Two of Wands, whatever decision that you decide to make here is going to bring significant change to your life. So whether you decide to go back into a cycle with this past person, whether it's moving on, in a new direction with a new person, or going alone, there is going to be significant change here. But I feel like for the most part, it's changed for the better. Now, if you do redo a cycle with this past person, it could honestly go either way. Okay. But stay hopeful. Don't be surprised that, there is going to be some kind of shocking change. Could be shocking news that you find out as well, something like that. But whatever this tower is for you, whatever this shocking news or maybe epiphany that you have, something is going to happen here where you're going to feel like, wow, I really can move on to a calmer place here and calmer waters. And I just got chills. So yeah, Spirit is saying, yes, that there is something significant and shocking coming your way. And it could just be a dream. It could be an epiphany. It could be a person. It could be information you find out. I'm not sure. It's going to be different for all of you. But there's something here that's going to be significant as far as being like shocking to you. But it's going to be shocking that will push you or allow you to move to a calmer place here in your life. Okay. With the Six of Cups being here at the bottom, I feel like, yes, you might be nostalgic for the past. You might be thinking about the past. And Spirit says that, don't forget about the past, because it's only when we remember things from the past, that is how we are able to move forward in the best way possible. Because, not only do you remember the good things that you've had with other people, but you can also learn the lessons that are involved by not forgetting either what transpired with other people or how, they treated you, or, how they made you feel. Okay. Things like that. All right. Okay, so additional signs, we have Sagittarius, we have Libra, we have Taurus, we have Scorpio. Okay, with the Six of Cups and the Six of Swords being here, you might be seeing 66. So sixes might be significant. Okay. All right. But I am going to leave this reading here. I hope that it helped, and I hope it brought you some information and some clarity. If you do feel like it resonates, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, take care and namaste.